Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo, and welcome to my scrapbook table where we continue with day 4 of May I Scraplift You. And today I am scraplifting Linda, who is the scrapbooking photographer on YouTube, and I chose this layout of hers to scraplift. I'm using her title, which you see here, 2 hearts, 1 love. I also use the same basic placement of papers and photo. Here's what I'm using. I have a small kit from Close to My Heart. It's a wedding themed kit. And I also have a scrap of paper from Stampin' Up! That I'm using. That's the red. And I used these thickers and colored them with a marker so that those would be the words 2 and 1. And I just showed you that photo there. I'm going to use some vellum just like Linda did. And at first I had thought about maybe using black. That's why there was a piece of black under there, but I decided that was not good. I wasn't sure what color. I knew I wanted to use one color on this page along with all the neutrals. I don't usually wear red. That's not a color that I wear. It just so happens that I borrowed this dress of my daughter's for our cruise. She had actually worn it in a wedding a while back, and I just decided for dress up night at the cruise I was gonna borrow that dress. My sister assured me that the red in the paper works with the red in the dress, and she's the color expert, so I went with her. And there we go. I've matted that photo in, I believe the color from the Close to My Heart collection is mink. So I matted it in a mink pattern that pretty much reads solid, as well as some white, and then I bumped that up on 2 layers of scrap cardstock. And I'm going to put my vellum here. I hadn't used vellum for quite a while, and lately I've been using it quite a bit. At first I tried to write out this title in the pretty scripty way that it is on Linda's layout, and I even printed it out and tried to do it that way, and I just couldn't get it where I wanted it. I couldn't print on the vellum, it was smearing. So I put on my thinking cap and I'm like, okay, what can I do? There has to be another way. And I remembered I have the word love in a die, and I knew I had heart dies. I just used it I used a nested heart die set to create these 2 hearts, and then I just snipped one of them so that I could tuck them together. And I decided to spell out the words 1 and 2 so that it reads 2 hearts, 1 love. And I showed you earlier that I had colored the thickers. I really like these letters. They're just the right size for a lot of things. But the ones I have are either navy, I have a few white but not very many, and this pearlescent pink, which is pretty, but it does not work on this page at all. So I went through some markers, random markers that I have, and this is a cherry cobbler marker from Stampin' Up! And so I colored the letters to spell out 2 and 1. And once I get this title all down, I realize something's bothering me. And what it is once everything is down, I realize everything but that 1 heart in the title is red. So that 1 white heart is bugging me. And I think about making it red, but then I realized, first of all, it wasn't going to come off there easily. Second, it was hard to make the red layer exactly the same as the white layer with the nesting dies. And trying to remove it off of where it was going to tear things. So, yeah, here's where I try to think about moving it. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. So I tuck it back down. And I decided I was going to remove the word 1, and I was going to use white for the word 1. And I didn't have enough white letters to spell out one. I'm pretty sure I'm out of N's and E's on my white. There's just a few straggly letters left. So I used Dina Wakley's gloss spray, which I never use as spray, I just use it as paint. I painted the letters and set those aside to dry, and it really didn't take very long. So then I pull out the sticker sheet that came with these pretty papers, and it is wedding themed. And yes, I am scrapbooking a wedding, but this stuff really doesn't go with the wedding colors or what I'm using for the wedding. So there's enough of it on here that, other than like the rings and I do, which I guess I could put on and say I still do, I think I can use up quite a bit of it. And I also used that same set of nesting heart dies to cut out some hearts. I did white and red, and I just layered the reds on top of whites for some of them to give them a little more dimension on the page. And I used those to create kind of a diagonal from the top left down through the center and over to that title in the bottom right. I do wish I had put one of them in a different place, but I tried moving it and I can't, not without making a mess. So it's just going to stay where it is, and that's okay. Sorry about that. Just got a text message that's some sort of spam. Usually I try to remember to turn my sound off before I start doing a voiceover, and I forgot. So I have this sticker that says love story. And I do wish I had used the middle size heart with that middle cluster in the page, but I didn't. It's okay. I may actually add another big heart to the center there toward the end. After I'm done doing the voiceover. I'll think about it. So I glued this little one here. And this photo was taken on our cruise. I'm still chipping away at finishing our cruise album. I don't have a lot left to do. Probably 3 or 4 layouts. Maybe 5. Beneath the photo, if you look closely, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in real life, you could see part of where I die cut the word love. And so I used these 2 flourishes from the sticker page to tuck under there and cover that up. And I really like it. It kind of creates a little frame or shelf for the photo to sit on. So I'm happy with that. I do some journaling on here. My journaling says, this cruise wasn't necessarily for our anniversary, but we put a sign on our door that said, cruising through life together for 35 years. We dressed up for one of the formal nights as an early celebration, and we're more in love than ever. Now my letters are dry. I was surprised how quickly that dried. So I put these down, and I am much happier with my title now. I think that looks more balanced with the white heart. And I got some more stickers on here, and I decided I needed something else. So I looked at some pearls, but I ended up with these sequins. They're in a Stampin' Up! Container, but I don't know if they're really Stampin' Up! Sequins. I reuse these containers. I love the size. So they could be, or they could be some random sequins pack. I am not sure. And like you can see, I literally picked them up, scattered them around a little bit, and I pretty much glued them on the way they fell. I'm not good at placing sequins. They feel too like I'm trying to line them up or match them up or something. So I decided I was just going to sprinkle them down because that's what I wanted them to look like sprinkles. And I used my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and there they are. There are still shots coming up. I will have a link in the description box below to the Scrapbooking Photographer's YouTube channel. Please go check out Linda's work. It was really fun to scraplift her, and thank you for joining me for May I Scraplift You. Still shots are coming in just a second. Bye.